All right, this Detroit Lions bye week just took an unexpected turn. And what I'm talking about is other coaches. We knew about Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson, but now there's other coaches that are really getting pursued aggressively. We're going to break it all down, look at the realistic chances that other coaches like Hank Fraley leave us, plus another coach, our DB coach just got interviewed. It's like, what is going on? Before we get into that, let me know in the comments, someone in your family, someone that's no longer with us that would have enjoyed this NFL season. For me, it's my dad. I can remember him watching him and midway through the third quarter just being like, I'm going to mow the yard, or I'm going to go shovel, just looking for some. You've just got all this pent up anger. You're willing to just do anything physical. You're just like, I'm going to go trim the trees, anything to get up, move, and get out of the house. You're so disgusted. So let me know in the comments, somebody that would just be loving this season. It's been so unbelievable. 15 wins. Okay, here it is. First thing, again, we knew about Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, kind of accepted it by now, right? A lot of Lions fans were just like, I know it's coming. It's fine. It's a special year. So this bye week, they've started to interview, and it's like, oh, whoa, like, just, all right, fine. You're just like, fine, let's just figure it out as we go here. But Hank Fraley interviewed for the Seahawks offensive coordinator job. Why this has really been unexpected is something that I guess Lions fans weren't really thinking about is, A, I was expecting this after the season, right? That's what you're naturally thinking. B, I wasn't thinking about these other guys, and it totally makes sense. So you've got Hank Fraley's our offensive line coach. Well, now he's looking at offensive coordinator positions. You also have other guys like Kelvin Shepard, our linebackers coach. Who's to say that he's not going to get grabbed for a defensive coordinator at the Commanders? I'm making things up, but you know what I mean? It's like, that would make sense. Everyone is looking for what the Lions are doing. Everyone wants to do what the Lions are doing. Physically dominate, well-run organization, run the ball, play aggressive defense, do all these things. So it makes total sense, right, that these guys are starting to get poached and interviewed. Here's the latest one here is that Lions DB coach Deshae Townsend. It's like, oh my gosh, I wasn't even thinking about this. And so you've got all these guys. There's natural turnover on the staff, but we're going to start seeing our offensive coordinator, our defensive coordinator, and then those guys could take, right? Let's say Aaron Glenn really likes Townsend and is like, hey, man, I want to promote you to assistant head coach. You see that with what we have now, right? So it's like, hey, you're a DB coach, you're the assistant head coach, you'll still be a DB coach or whatever. Give them promotions. Or Ben Johnson leaves and he takes Tanner Egerstadt. And it's like, oh no, right? So we knew this was coming. I guess my whole point in this is that we didn't know this week when we're all just kind of excited. We're all just chilling. And the next thing you know, our coaches are all over the place interviewing. The other one, Chris Spielman, reportedly interviewed for a GM position. And I don't think he leaves. I doubt he would leave. I just feel like he's got like one of the best jobs you could probably ask for because he's not a coach, he's not a GM, he's not an owner. He just kind of gets to do. He's not a personnel guy. But he gets to do all of it. I just feel like it fits him perfect. But who knows, right? Again, when you're this successful, things are going to start to happen. And so that's what's really interesting about this week right now is like I did not expect all this to happen. So again, couple other things. If you look at, let me pull up the realistic possibility. I think here we go right here. So you can see it. This is just a snapshot really quick. Townsend to the 49ers, Hank Fraley interview with the Seahawks. Aaron Glenn's going to interview with the Patriots. Spielman Jets. Ben Johnson has 4 interviews scheduled. Patriots, Raiders, Bears, Jags, right? It's just Jags, Saints, Patriots. Oh, jeez. So we'll see what happens there. But now here's what's interesting is that I really like what PFF had to say and they ranked. I won't pull it up, but they ranked. This is why this is such a big deal. They ranked all the offensive lines. Pat McAfee did a ranking. Our offensive line, we know, it's been top 3. Nobody denies that for the last 3 years, almost 4 years now. Top 3 unit. It dominates. It's what runs everything. We can control the ball. We can do play action. It runs our team. And so to lose a really offensive mind in Ben Johnson is one thing, but then, the offensive coordinator or the offensive line guy as well, it's like, oh, shoot. So that'll be interesting. Okay, another thing I wanted to point out. Now, I don't want to get too crazy with this because, let's be serious. We're in an epic season, but I saw, it's not pulling up. Okay, here we go. I saw a really cool article about who the Lions could get, basically in the NFL draft, and it's just, again, it's a long way away, and we're not anywhere close to that. And I don't want to take away from this season by looking forward, but we are on a bye week, so it's like, you know what? What would we do? So they have us, first of all, picking 32nd. Thank you. Won the Super Bowl. That's great. But here's just a snapshot of it. And you start looking. Let me know in the comments if there's someone that stands out to you that you're like, man, I hope we could draft this guy or that guy. But they have us going edge with Alabama edge. LT. The LT threw me off. Like left tackle. He's an edge / left tackle. No, he's an edge. Then you get Donovan Jackson guard, and then a safety and Billy Bowman Jr. to add some depth there. There's a lot of different ways we can go, and if there's anything we've learned, it's that we have no idea which direction we're going to go with Brad Holmes. But that was pretty cool to be like, oh man, you imagine another get. That's the thing that I think the good and the bad news about all these injuries. The bad news is all the injuries. The good news is we are going to have guys coming back next year that we've forgotten about. I know we don't have forgotten about Aiden Hutchinson, but it's like, oh yeah, we're going to a premier defensive end coming back. Malcolm Rodriguez, what's up, man? How are things? There's all these guys that we've got starters that are going to be coming back next year. So this team's going to be deeper and better than ever. I mean, it really is. And what this season has had to teach all of us is that it doesn't matter if we have injuries. Shockingly doesn't matter. Now, again, we'll watch, and, again, there's going to be a lot of staff turnover, which we're prepared for, but Dan Campbell is going nowhere. People want to play for him. People want to coach under him. People want to be here, learn, and roll with Dan Campbell and Jared Goff. Seriously, Dan Campbell, Jared Goff are going nowhere, so we're good. Now, let me know here, as you look at this, here's the bracket. Let's just kind of look at it here for a second. Remember, we play whatever lowest seed comes out here. So, and you start looking at it, it's like, okay, I don't like these teams just because we've played them so much before, but Minnesota, we've beat the Minnesota Vikings 6 times in a row or something. Last 4 games, we've scored over 30 points. Jared Goff said it. He just knows this defense. I'm not afraid of them. That defense does scare me, but not anymore. It's like we will put up 30 points against them. We put up basically 30 points and a half because so yeah, all right, it's them. If it's the Rams, are you kidding me? We will run the ball down their throat, come into Ford Field. You guys want to really do that again? That's their 3rd time coming to Ford Field. They got to be like, jeez, come on in. I know all the games have been close. Bring it. Washington, perfect. That's the one I prefer just because we haven't seen them. He's a new team, and it'd be fun. And all day Washington, bring it. And then Green Bay. I mean, that's the last team I want to see just because it's just, again, another division opponent. But same thing, dominated them twice this year. I mean, won 5 of 6 or whatever. It's like Matt LaFleur has that look in his eye these last couple meetings. You can just see they pan to him, and he's just looking at his play sheet like, I got nothing. I'm not sure what to do. And Dan Campbell's just standing there looking at him like, sup, what are you going to do? So if you look at our opponents, we're in good shape. If you look at it right now, we're healing up. Those teams are got to play a high-intensity game. That 1 seed is so valuable because remember, just a few years ago, there would be 2 buys. The 1st and 2nd seed were buys. And so, you get first or second seed. Now it's really hard to get the 1 seed, and it's a really huge advantage. Before it was 1 and 2 both had the advantage. So it's going to be interesting. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, and we'll see all of you on the next one.